you heard what Ramaswamy and Musk were saying, were you bothered by that? Did you have a problem with their assessment that we're basically just lazy, stupid people? I think Elon even liked a post that included the word retarded.
Yeah, I think it was, especially, we're 2 months after this great victory from President Trump with this, wide coalition, and now we're throwing shots at each other over something that, it does matter. I really do believe it does matter, because part of why Trump won and part of why Trump, engendered the support that he did was because he spoke to people who want to work with dignity and live a life that's fulfilling to them. And here you have two technocrats who, God bless them for the support. I welcome it in certain doses, but come on, like, we're not all cut out to work 80-hour weeks in a blindingly white office space in San Francisco, slaving away at our computer, bombarding ourselves with blue light. We're just not built to that. We're built to have families, to build strong communities. Those are what things that make America great, and what Trump has promised to return.
I think there is there is an argument here that, yeah, we do need to do a better job in our nation's education system. That we have been so focused on, churning out social justice warriors who are confused about their pronouns. Meanwhile, you've got kids who can't even make proper change at Walmart. And I think that's a fair argument to have. But
Absolutely.
I think it got lost in the whole presentation, and I don't understand why now did they want to bring this up and create this firestorm, especially over the H-1B visa controversy, which is really enraging a lot of America First conservatives, Jeremiah.
Right. Well, and the H-1B visas are essentially used to undercut American wages and to let corporations employ
Yeah.
foreigners for basically starvation wages. It entirely exists to replace American workers. This whole notion that this is, we're bringing in the best and the brightest. Well, most of the people who are on H-1B visas could easily be those jobs could easily be filled by Americans, but they're just going to do it for twice the salary that a foreigner is going to command. And you know what? I think that that's a really disturbing part of this whole conversation, because if we're going to say, oh, well, you won't work for less money and more hours, well, then you're lazy. Excuse me. A job the purpose of a job is to support your family and support your life. It is not to be your life. And that is a key problem of what I saw and what Vivek said and what Musk kind of has hinted at as well.
Joining us on the program today is Jeremiah Pa from the Washington Examiner, an amazing op-ed called "In Defense of a Normal Work Ethic." So, what is? I know she had that in quotes here. What is a normal work ethic?
I didn't specifically, define it, because I think for every person that can be a little different. But for the most of us, myself included, we view our jobs as a means to support our life and our family, right? They're not to be our life and our family. And so if I'm working 80 hours a week, that's, a whole bunch of time that I can't spend with my family. I can't spend in my home, enjoying the things of life that make America a beautiful place. I mentioned in there, that the guy who works at, a hard work, works hard during the week, comes home to his wife and kids every night, and then in the weekend can go to the baseball game or to the movies with his wife. Those are things that you wouldn't be able to do if you're focusing your entire life around your job and centering it around your job. And it's just I think a really unhealthy way of going about life, and extremely unfulfilling.
You pointed out in your column, and you referenced one of these big tech startup bosses, Gupta is the last name, and he actually declared that he offers no work-life balance. So, I mean, basically, it sounds like he's running a sweatshop.
Well, yeah, I mean, and I think a lot of people who've worked in Silicon Valley would say that that's a similar experience to what or similar to their own personal experiences. There's an idea that productivity is in itself sign of a kind of a god, and that we have to, do all we can to support productivity at any expense. And I think it's a really, really dangerous way of looking through life. And I think that, I don't often root for people's businesses to fail, but I think that, if you're creating a business that's pushing people to do things that are contrary to our nature, I think that that's not a business that should be